31 nights of Halloween.
Hey guys, it's Nihongo Johnny. Minasan konnichiwa, Nihongo Johnny desu. Today we're gonna talk about a creepy Pokemon conspiracy theory. And this is the theory that Ash is actually in a coma the entire series. This theory specifically really freaked me out, especially because I rewatched the series after learning about this theory, and everything made so much sense. Whether or not this was the intention of the creators, I don't know, but either way it's really creepy to think about. Before we actually get into this theory, I just wanted to say welcome if you're new. My name's Johnny and I talk about all things paranormal in Japan. So if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely hit subscribe. I put out new content every Friday. So I've read many theories about this, and I'll post some of my sources in the description below. But the theory is, from the first episode, Ash gets injured, and then he goes into a coma, and the rest of the show from there takes place inside Ash's head. And like I said, if you think about it, it does make sense. When the show starts out, his life is fairly normal, but after he gets into a bicycle accident, everything kinda takes off from there. Before the bike crash, Ash and Pikachu encounter a Spearow, and Pikachu really can't fight it off. Pikachu's not strong enough. So this is why Ash grabs Pikachu, they steal a bike and run off. And after Ash crashes his bike, Pikachu is now strong enough to let out this giant thunderbolt that attacks an entire flock of Spearows and Pharaohs. This is why I personally think that this is the turning point where Ash goes into the coma. At this point, his life becomes very exciting, and he's not just a regular boy anymore. He's constantly encountering Team Rocket, and he's trying to save the world every day. And his perception of time goes from moving normally to very slowly. You'll notice that the entire series moves at a very slow pace. This could also be why Ash never seems to age, even though his friends seem to grow up. I think it's been over 10 or 15 years, and he still hasn't aged one day. And he hasn't changed too much as a person either. Different people have different theories as to what happens when Ash becomes the Pokemon Master. Some people think that he's gonna finally be able to die, and other people think that he'll wake up. Nobody knows for sure because this theory might not even turn out to be true. But no matter what, you have to admit it does make sense. There's one theory online that talks about how all the characters may be pieces of Ash's subconscious, and Ash sort of has to get to know and accept and overcome each of these characters in order to get out of the coma. I don't know about you guys, but when I was little, and even to this day, I wonder why there is such a socialist society. People go to Poke Centers and everyone's taken care of for free, and how almost every town is exactly the same. Every town even has an Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy, and they're completely identical. Not even twins are that identical. This is thought to be an anchor for Ash's mind so that he'll feel safe. It is thought that Brock is a piece of Ash's repressed sexuality, and because Ash never really had relations with a girl, he didn't really know the next step, which may be one of the reasons why Brock never gets anywhere with women, because Ash doesn't know what's gonna happen next. Brock could also very well represent a father figure, because he leaves his family in order to take care of Ash. People think that Misty is Ash's love interest. He needed Misty to reach a certain level of maturity, because Ash was still growing up, and he thought that only adults could be in relationships. This may be why Ash's mind made Misty take care of Togepi. But this also caused Misty to grow up too fast and become too mature, so eventually Ash made her get rid of Togepi. This could also be why Misty disappears as a character for a while, and anyone else who joins their party usually disappears when they threaten to mature too quickly. Team Rocket could be the parts of Ash that he deems bad. They're constantly trying to appease a father figure, Giovanni, especially Meowth, and this is what creeped me out the most. Meowth is the only Pokemon actually able to speak, and he's the one trying to appease Giovanni the most because he remembers the good times. And maybe Ash's mind does this so that Meowth can directly communicate with him and make it easier to convey the message. Moving away from characters themselves, you'll notice at the beginning of the series there's many references to real-life animals such as fish, but these disappear as time goes on. You only really see Pokemon from here on. And this may be because Ash is slowly losing touch with reality. He also starts to see Pokemon acting as generators and performing functions that machines usually would. One last thing that I wanted to mention was that no matter which region Ash goes to, no one seems to know of him, even though he made so many great successes in the previous regions. And you would think normally he would have some sort of fame, especially if he did things such as beat the Elite Four. But it's sort of like he's starting over in each region. I really don't know exactly for sure what's going on. These are fun to think about, especially when you rewatch the series, but who knows whether or not this is intentional? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please definitely hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.